Rob and Ram. Nobody asked, but we give you our opinions. Acknowledge us like Roman Reigns to all his minions. Coming from the grave like our name was Undertaker. Women's wrestling is cool, but where the hell is Britt Baker? Coherence takes abandon all hope. We talk shit like Ricochet from the top rope. We are marks, sometimes we're friendly. Sometimes we show our whole ass like Mandy. We are discussing what is the latest. Jericho is the GOAT, but Sid is our favorite. We are marks. We are marks.
Marks, welcome back to the podcast. It's the We Are Marks podcast. I'm your host. My name is Ram, Rob, and Bob. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, America?
It's a same old week out here.
I got to be honest. This is probably the 5th or 6th week now that we have played the intro to our podcast, before we record it. So we actually hear it. It's not in post-production. And it's the first time I saw Bob getting into it. So it's a good day to be on the We Are Marks podcast. But I tell you what, I'm gonna. Here we are, and we're in a tough spot in wrestling right now. We talked about it last week. Building to WrestleMania, there's a lot of filler things going on. So we really have been relying on AEW to deliver us something marvelous to talk about. I want to know from you guys, though. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to run segment by segment. I'm not going to say anything about my opinion on AEW because I think if you're listening to the We Are Marks podcast right now, you have heard me enough talk about it. So I want to know what you guys thought about the things that happened this week in AEW. We don't normally do this. We don't normally focus on AEW for the majority of the show, but I think it's going to dominate the conversation today. So here we go. I'm going to start it off. This was Dynamite last week. It started off with a promo between Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland. I guess I want to know what your opinion was on this promo and the program they're attempting to put together.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the combination of Swerve and Kenny. I think continuing to put these guys together, not just Kenny and Swerve, but these top guys to have matches that hopefully lead to contenders is a good thing. We talked about it. Having great matches is wonderful. You want to have great matches versus shit matches, but also having some meaning behind it is important. There's a lot of great wrestling, so I like it. I'm surprised it's on Dynamite, but you know what? Free great matches is better than having to pay $50 to see it, so I'm not going to complain about that.
It gave them something to do, but we're going back to, Bob, you said last week, it's great that the story they're telling is 6 guys going after the MJF and his title, and we're not doing any of that. Well, I'm sure we're going to get into who is going after it, but it's not 6 guys anymore. It's the same guy going after the title again. And I feel like they're just killing time for Kenny and Swerve right now. It's going to be a fire match. Obviously it's Swerve versus Kenny Omega, but I just don't understand how we went from nobody likes Samoa Joe, we're going to go after the title, to now we don't like each other for reasons. And I know Swerve did accidentally screw up Kenny's shot at the title and all that, but again, I feel like it's a match for a match because who's the heel in this?
I assume that, I don't think there's one.
So we're having a match.
Yeah.
Okay. I let you guys talk, and I appreciated hearing the opposing viewpoints because Bob enjoyed it. Rob, I completely, animately, full-heartedly disagree with Bob on this. Rob, obviously they are just putting together a show, but what was your opinion of this particular promo?
It was all right, I guess. It wasn't anything that I remember, really.
Yeah, Kenny Omega is corny as hell. And
Yeah.
this has been my opinion. Listen, when he does that thing he does when he like ends a show where he goes goodbye and moi, that fucking thing, that's the corniest goddamn thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I literally cannot stand it when he does it. I can't stand his promo style at all. Like, he's such a talented wrestler, like so talented, and it's just a cringe level of promo. And he's in there with Swerve, and if I'm completely honest, Swerve's reasoning for why he's mad at Kenny Omega makes absolutely no sense, because it was pretty much like, I was a champion and you were gone. Where were you? You were gone, laid up in a hospital. Yeah, my man nearly died. Yeah, of course. He was laid up in a hospital. Why is that a reason to be mad at the man? I have absolutely no idea. Nevertheless, you both said two things that I view as negatives. One, it's just a match to have a match. We're not building to anything. And there is a pay-per-view coming up in, 4 or 5 weeks, sometime in the end of March.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you're putting two guys that the crowd loves against each other, which, again, isn't necessarily helping anybody, because now you got a split crowd. And it's just happening on free TV, essentially. I mean, nothing's free, but on Dynamite, where it's just happening there, and there doesn't seem any rhyme or reason to it. Okay, so let's say Kenny Omega wins. Now what?
Well, I don't think Kenny Omega's going to win, but
okay. Swerve wins. Now what?
Swerve goes higher in the pecking order, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, but like I said, as part of my point I was trying to make was, I think they should add a stipulation to it if Swerve becomes the number one contender or something like that. That aspect I don't like. I don't think we need to have exhibition matches for the sake of having an exhibition match.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just don't always love that we're putting together a match because I don't like you for this reason, and I don't buy it. I don't buy it. So I don't know. Not a lot for me to get invested in, other than seeing a great match, which it will be. I acknowledge that. All right, guys, we got to move along because there is a lot. We don't have to get that in depth on all of this, obviously, but there was a 6-man tag match between the Death Riders and the Don Callis family, in which Jon Moxley pinned Josh Alexander.
Yeah. Didn't really have much of a take on it other than something to do before Takeshita and Moxley.
Yeah, that was just a throwaway match. It was anytime there's a 6-man tag match like that, there's usually a throwaway match.
I just appreciate the acknowledgement of the 20 minutes wasted TV time. Okay. Kyle Fletcher defeats Tommaso Ciampa for the TNT Championship.
I thought it was quick. I did not expect Fletcher to win the match. But there is part of me that isn't super pissed off about this, just because I'm more frustrated. I don't love the idea of Fletcher being back as the TNT champion more than frustrated that he beat Ciampa after 2 weeks, if that makes sense. I feel like this was the start of a problem that happened throughout the week, which it felt like AEW did a hard reset from where we were in January. Even though the last month has been enjoyable in a lot of ways, I feel like we're back to January.
What was the point? What was the point? And we all said it. We were like, yeah, Ciampa's TNT champion. They brought somebody in from the other company, made him bigger than what he was over there. He looked like a star. He beat Briscoe. For 4 days for Kyle Fletcher to get his title back.
11
and
days.
Then on top of that, you had a ladder match, not with Ciampa in it, but with Mark Briscoe. If that's where the direction you were going, then why even bring Ciampa in for the TNT title picture? And why have him win it? Why not just have Fletcher beat Briscoe?
Well, I think
What
with
was the point?
Fletcher winning, the part that bothered me, I guess the most would have been I didn't feel like watching that match that Ciampa could ever beat Fletcher. And if they go to a rematch, I don't feel that like, oh, who's going to win? I mean, I guess in wrestling anybody could win, but I felt like Fletcher kind of proved he hit him with how many finishers Ciampa did, and he kept kicking out. I didn't really
when they
feel
said
like
that
Ciampa
match
was in his league.
When they said that match was happening, we all sat here. We're like, we don't want either of these guys to lose,
Right?
But we said Ciampa should win because he just got the title. Why'd you put the title on him if you're just going to have him lose to Fletcher? And what happened? He just lost to Kyle Fletcher, so Kyle Fletcher could have a ladder match with Mark Briscoe. What was the point? Other than to say, hey, look, we got a guy from WWE and we gave him a title right away. Now I bet you he's on Collision for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's my problem with it too. I have absolutely no problem with Kyle Fletcher being the TNT champion. Honestly, I just don't understand why it was like they just brought Ciampa in for this single moment. And then we literally just went right, like when Briscoe came out, and I was like, we're just going right back to Fletcher and Briscoe. It was like, what was the point of that 11 days? Just keep it on Briscoe and let Fletcher win the championship in Australia.
Right.
That's how, I mean, that's my feelings on it.
It seemed like there was this idea that people were clamoring for a Game 7 between Briscoe and Fletcher that I don't believe was there. I don't believe that there was a hunger to see a grudge match between the two of them. I'm not sure if maybe that's just us, but I wasn't eager for it. And, you know, in sports, typically there isn't months at a time between Game 6 and Game 7. So we kind of moved off of it after Briscoe won. So
but it just came out of nowhere too. Like Mark Briscoe just showed up and Fletcher's like, yeah. And I got no problems with Fletcher being champion. Some people look good with a title on them. Kyle Fletcher is that man. My biggest problem is you literally brought in Ciampa, gave him a belt. So everyone's going to be like, AEW is better than WWE because look what they do. They get in and they treat people right. That wasn't the case. He was a patsy. That's all he was.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And, I mean, Rob said it. I mean, he's probably just going to be on Collision now. That's going to be a spot, which is, I mean, it just seemed like with the presentation that they gave him and making him feel like a big deal immediately, it just feels like really just like putting the flame out real quick. So I don't know. I guess we're going to have to see what they go with after that. All right. Next segment, we had Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong taking on Danny Garcia and Clark Connors. 100 proof Clark Connors. Roderick Strong left Orange Cassidy in the middle of the match. That's the thing, I guess, here.
I like Clark Connors, but I'm just not this Orange Cassidy thing. I feel like it was 5 years ago and it was fun and it's the same thing. And I'm just not really interested in it. I'm not interested in the conglomeration at all. Do not care. It is time used on television. Don't care about any of them.
My biggest problem with the conglomeration is Tony Storm still with the conglomeration is driving me insane. That woman needs to be a wrestler and not whatever they do. Roderick Strong, I felt like this was going to happen. Roddy doesn't really want to be part of the conglomerate, but at the same time, then why you keep showing up? Like,
that's like, the thing I was thinking too. It's like we joke about the Don Callis family. I feel like the conglomeration's got 1,000 members, and half of them don't want to be in it.
8, I believe, somewhere close to 8. But yeah, no, and the like, I don't know. I actually didn't know the conglomeration was a thing up until Mark Briscoe won the TNT title. That's when I figured out that the conglomeration has been around for a while. So
yep, I'm with you there. I am with you there. I was like, well, who the hell are the conglomeration? And it started showing like Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. I was like, what? When did that happen?
Right.
Very interesting. All right. Number one contenders match for the tag team championships. We had the Young Bucks. We had the Rascals. and we had the wild card team, Private Party.
I said it last week. I thought it was going to be Christian and Copeland. I was shocked that it wasn't Christian and Copeland. Private Party's been gone for a long time. Kind of forgot about those guys, and no one really had an explanation where they were. So I was very surprised by that. But, as the resident Bucks fan, I was happy for it. And it'll be kind of interesting to see what happens here. I kind of would be intrigued if they want to have the Bucks win and face Christian and Copeland in Canada at the following pay-per-view, and lead to the FTR match at All In. That's kind of what I would do, but I don't know if that's the direction they will go.
Edge and Christian as champions going against FTR is not as good as FTR as champions going against Edge and Christian. I think the right team won. I think the Bucks versus FTR, what was that look for?
Hell yeah,
well, no
hell
shit.
yeah.
No shit,
Right.
The right team won. Go ahead.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say about
explain.
this match? I'm okay with the Young Bucks being the number one contenders. All right?
Yes, absolutely. But here's my question. How the hell did it become the Rascals and Private Party in contention for the number one contenders match? And what was the point of the wild card team when they're not even involved in the finish in any way, shape, or form? What was the point?
To have a fatal four-way tag team match. I mean, you wanted the Rascals on TV. That's why they were in there. Private Party, they just showed back up. I guess everyone's healthy. And I'm not sure. Who'd you want the Young Bucks to face? Davis and Doyle?
Would have made more sense. At least they're credible.
Fletcher Cotta?
Brand new. I mean, could have been Claudio and Yuta for all I care. Would have made more sense.
I guess.
I do think the Rascals beat somebody. I think the Bucks and the Rascals beat somebody to get there. Okay. They qualified.
They had a whole one match.
I guess.
Hey, you know what? How rarely they actually use tag teams other than the ones we see all the time. You know what? How many tag teams even are there? Realistically, not that many.
Like actual tag teams or two people thrown together?
Yeah. I mean, like you can say, the conglomeration. I haven't seen any members of the conglomeration be in the tag team picture at all. Right? The Death Riders don't really do the tag team. They don't really do the tag team championships.
Well, what are Hook and Shibata up to?
Hook's the boss, so probably nothing.
Is he the boss of Shibata?
Apparently, he's the boss of the ops. All right, gentlemen, the main event of Dynamite saw Tekla become the new women's champion, defeating Chris Statlander in a strap match.
I'll be honest, the Statlander reign didn't really do much for me. I think the women's division needs Mercedes back and or Toni Storm back as well. But it was a good match. I mean, I enjoyed the match, but they just need to do more. They need to get personality on some of these other women to make you more invested in these matches.
Yeah, no. No, I agree with you. I mean, we have talked about what is Chris Statlander's character. What is she supposed to be? She's been doing more trios, tag teams than. Sorry, my ticker got screwed up.
I thought you were doing Sky.
No, I realized that. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. But yeah, no, we talked about how she it just kind of was there. It was nice that she won the title. But I was more about Mercedes Moné downfall than it was about Chris Statlander winning. So at least Tekla is a new person in the division that has that title, and there's a good chance that Toni Storm beats her and Mercedes Moné beats Toni Storm. So
yeah, it would have helped if there was more. I think there was a lack of a proper transition from Tony to Statlander, the way she won the title, and then there wasn't a rematch, or maybe there was, but it wasn't a significant one, that she could gain from beating Tony Storm. Tony had been the champion for so long, and then it went to Statlander, and I don't think she really got the proper, she beat Tony Storm.
Right.
Fair enough.
It just felt like she was there.
Yeah. The only silver lining I have here is that Tekla's in a heel group that could maybe keep it interesting a little bit. But I mean, I compared her to Zoe Stark maybe 6 weeks ago. And I just have to stand by it that she's a dearth of charisma. She doesn't have it. As a group, they can put something together, but there is nothing about her that is star potential, in my opinion. She's a fine wrestler. She can put on a good match, but I don't see a lot there. So to Bob's point, we need Mercedes back. We need Tony Storm back. And where the hell is Britt Baker?
Bob, where's Britt Baker?
She was just at the Madden Bowl.
Tony Khan says he hopes she's back.
Well, let's see if she came back on Grand Slam, which opened with Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita working to a 20-minute draw in the Continental Championship match.
I thought this was great. I know a lot of people didn't love it because of the draw, but I just felt like it told a great story, and I think Moxley's character is phenomenal. I think I love this anti-hero babyface kind of character he is. I think he's one of the most intriguing characters on television right now as far as across wrestling. And I thought it was a great match. And I think that his reaction to not beating Takeshita was great, and Takeshita's reaction as well showed some fire, and I think it will be more meaningful if he beats him. And the final thought I had on it was, with the dysfunction of the Don Callis family, the fact that now Okada and Fletcher have titles, Takeshita was the one that was unable to win. If they want to shake up the Death Riders, there's a little bit of weirdness in it. I kind of think it would be interesting if Takeshita joins forces with Moxley, as you know what, these guys are really not out for my best interest, and Moxley wants to build him up or continue to build him up.
Did you guys see the video of after the match? The crowd was pretty pissed off. So Moxley went to the referee and told basically to tell Takeshita to Takeshita.
I can't believe you just did that.
I can't believe I just did that either.
He's earned more respect than that.
Cut that. And told Takeshita to hit him with his finisher, and then the crowd popped again. The man just gets wrestling through and through. Yeah. I do see the fall of the Death Riders, especially since Willie Yuta is now bald. But I don't see Takeshita being with Jon Moxley. I want to see Takeshita on his own. And I want to see Takeshita be a world champion. That's what I want.
Yeah, Death Riders aren't. I mean, the Death Riders aren't going anywhere.
The Death Riders may not, but Jon Moxley might be going somewhere.
No, I think I could see them kicking out Wheeler Yuta, but other than that, no. But I can also see. Do you hear that? Do I sound weird?
No, but
no.
Okay, I can absolutely see Takeshita helping the Death Riders defeat the Don Callis family, which leads to Takeshita on his own, which kind of is like a mix between what both of you are saying. And I like that idea. I don't have any notes on this match. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I just feel like with Moxley's character that I don't think he'll ever truly be alone. I think that part of his character is being this boss type.
Oh, maybe he can lead the ops.
Moxley?
Yeah.
There you go.
The Death Riders are just weird because like they all get booed, but Moxley gets cheered, and like Moxley's now feeding into that.
I think
Like,
it'll
I
be
don't think they can
refreshed.
stay together.
Yeah, I think the Death Riders will be refreshed.
Yeah.
Refreshed is a good word for it, but not go away.
Yeah.
Next match, we saw the Babes of Wrath retain the women's tag team champions against Megabad, and some random bitch came out after the match to attack the champs.
I don't really get why. Like I feel like this title reign of Harley and Willow has kind of gone as far as it can go, and I think Bane and Penelope have something, and I don't know why they wouldn't win this match. I didn't really understand it. I guess they could lead it to Revolution, this third woman. I don't know, but it just felt like to me that should have been sort of the climax of the story, not kicking the can down the road. Didn't really think they should have lost. I think you're muted, Rob.
Yeah, I don't hear you.
Who did attack her? I can't remember.
Some random big bitch. Well, that's kind of what I think is going to happen is that now Megan Bane and this other big bitch are going to be the ones to beat them. I think that's the thing. I think that's what's happening.
Poor Penelope Ford.
What was her name though, Bob? You know who this lady is. Something Cross. Something Cross.
Killer Cross?
No.
Layla?
Layla?
Start with an L?
All right. Well, anyway, exactly. This random bitch came out. Maybe she's from Australia. Maybe that's part of it. But she came out, and I think Lena Cross, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I got to imagine that it was just Megan Bane couldn't win the titles because Penelope Ford. I don't know, her appendages got in the way, and she couldn't get the job done. So we needed this other really big bitch to come in so the big bitches can beat the babes. So I think.
Or the Babes of Wrath get a nice win before the Iconics show up.
Okay. I love the Iconics. No way in hell they should come in and beat Willow and Harley for the tag team championship.
Why? And then Penelope Ford and Megan Bane could beat them the next week, and then they can go on Collision.
They definitely debuted this big bitch to be with Megan Bane, and I don't think Penelope Ford's going to be part of that.
Right.
I don't know what the hell the Iconics are going to do on AEW.
Go on Collision.
It's a tag team. I mean,
similar to
the Bellas in WWE. I think there would be a benefit to the women's tag team division, but it's not.
Well, it's just odd that a company that seems so preoccupied with having great matches. I mean, who are they going to face? Ospreay and Fletcher? How are you going to get a good match out of the Iconics?
Are you trying to tell me that the Iconics are not good wrestlers?
Well, they're not. I wouldn't call them good. I wouldn't refer to them as good. No.
Entertaining, not
entertaining
good.
As hell. Very entertaining. But yeah, not fantastic. We had Hangman Page defeat Andrade to become the number one contender for the AEW Championship, which is happening at the pay-per-view, which is called Revolution. Is it Revolution?
Revolution.
That's the next one?
Yeah. I'm going to try to keep it as brief as I can, but I do have a couple things to say. Like I said to Rob before we hopped on, I don't know if mad's the right word. I think I'm a little more disappointed in this decision. I could be wrong. Maybe this is a great business decision to have Hangman Page main event again against MJF, a match we've seen multiple times. I get that he has never lost to MJF. Quite frankly, I do not care. That does not make me want to see the match at Revolution. I have lost my interest in Hangman Page as a fan. I think his character has gotten a little soft, might be the best word. He's cut some promos I did not think were great. I think the luster that he had before and during All In has gone away. I think Andrade was cool. He was fresh. He had a gimmick that I thought was fun. I do not know why, other than maybe there is a group of Hangman fans, and maybe this pay per view is going to do huge numbers because of Hangman Page. But for me personally, I am not more interested in this show than I would have been if Andrade was the main event of the pay per view. I think it was the wrong decision. And like I said, I feel like this was the exclamation point on a week for AEW where we just did a factory reset on everything that we had gained over the past month.
Yeah. So the only thing that I could think of on why Andrade would lose this match is because Hangman's going to win the title. That's the only thing I could like. Otherwise, why would you do it? Like, and if that's the case, then every pay-per-view that they have had in the last 6 months has had a new champion, and we're just hot potato and everything. But I don't understand why Hangman won either. I mean, I'm not, as Bob said, I can't be mad about it. But you had a guy that was so hot and we were so excited to see, and it'd be a new matchup, and you'd be able to put someone in the main event scene right away who has a following right now. Like, we want to watch Andrade, and you just kind of said, nah, we're going to give it to Hangman again because, well, it's Hangman, you know?
And on top of that, the decision could have been made. I get it that they booked in advance, and the idea was that Hangman Page and MJF would have been a match that people would have cared about because of the story that Hangman has not lost to MJF. But this type of decision making, by not changing when things look this way, is the way we would have gotten Batista versus Randy Orton in WrestleMania 30 and not Daniel Bryan. It's great to book ahead. It's great to have plans, but you have to make an adjustment when things change and somebody else gets hot.
And again, the only thing I can think of other than Tony Khan's like, no, we're doing this, is that Hangman's going to win the title. Otherwise, you could just have Andrade here and Andrade lose.
I think the issue there is that it would have been a heel versus a heel, which is one way to look at it. Is, that is a thing. I view it differently than you, though, Rob. I think that whereas you're saying the only reason Hangman would win this match is if he's going to win the title, I view it the opposite way. I think it's a way to definitively drop him down the card. Because listen, Bob just said that something about a story about MJF has never beat Hangman. I didn't know that until he just told me. I had no idea.
I didn't either.
I had no idea. So the only thing I can think of is there is that, just to give MJF that notch, and it will drop Hangman down the card. That's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, I guess.
Or Hangman. Honestly, him and Moxley both deserve some time off. My man, take a vacation, and that could be it too. Maybe you need some medicals done or something. I don't know.
And I just hope over the course of the next month, if that's how much time they have, Hangman's got to come up with more new material than this. Max is a despicable person crying crap. What would the movie directors think of the stuff you say? If this guy is such a despicable person, I don't want to hear him whining about it. Punch him in the face.
That was my thing. Like, I agree with you because, like, I go back to All In last year, and Hangman was that guy. Like, they talked about him being the main character. He was the main character of AEW. Now he just kind of sounds like a whiny bitch.
That was the promo.
That's not what I want from my.
Yes.
Right. That's not what I want from my aspiring babyface. Like, we know MJF's an asshole. We love him for it. You got to have something better than that.
I think Hangman should start getting drunk again.
I join the Dark Order again.
Yeah, they're still around somewhere, right?
Evil Uno was just on TV like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I remember. That's
something.
Yeah, it's the only reason I remember they exist. Kyle Fletcher defeats Mark Briscoe in a ladder match. I do have a question though before we get into it. Why did the heel decide to give a guy like Mark Briscoe an advantage here by making this ladder match. It's kind of weird.
Ow. Because it
Game
was
7.
in Australia. So
Game 7.
since it was in Australia, the ladder is technically upside down. Okay. So Mark Briscoe would have to sit there and figure out the gravitational pull of it being upside down. That is some terrible science, and anybody who's listening, please don't take that seriously.
I mean, we talked about the Fletcher winning. All I would say is, I hope that I think Fletcher's one of the best guys they have, if he's not the best. And if he's not in a serious position for the Owen Hart, then there was failure, because he should be in the mix to potentially be in the main event of All In. I mean, at least be positioned as the guy that has a chance. Because it's time for him to move up the ladder. He should not be the TNT champion. He should be the AEW champion.
And we've been talking about it for a year, and that's why, like, when Ciampa got in with Mark Briscoe, I was like, all right, that means Fletcher's done with this. But here came Fletcher again, and no, it's time. You're right, it's time. And he is that guy.
And the reason I think I'm a little bit softer on it is, if I was booking it, have Ciampa win it. Like, I hope that they continue to move. I know we're thinking that he's going to go down the toilet, but have Ciampa win it back at Revolution. Have a round 2. It was a good match, even though I was a little bit critical about the fact that it didn't seem like Ciampa had a chance to beat him. But if you can get it back on Ciampa at Revolution, and then let Fletcher move on to the next level and be a contender for All In, whether or not he gets there, but be in a position to get there.
I mean, that's what should happen. But at the same time, there's so many mid-card titles that, because as it stands right now, I think the next guy if there's somebody holding a mid-card title, there's 4 of them. Guys, there are 4 mid-card titles. It's probably Moxley.
There's 4 mid-card titles, including the women. Is that what you mean?
No, not including the women, just men. I was just talking about the men's division.
The Continental, the TNT, the one Okada has,
and the National, the one from
Ricochet. And the National Championship. I totally forgot about the National Championship. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of mid-card titles, bro. Oh boy. Yeah. That's kind of another reason that I thought Takeshita should have won, was so that we could turn those 3 titles into 1, and then we'd have 2 mid-card titles, and that's okay.
When Bob said that the other day, last week, I believe it was, I'm like, that may not be a bad idea, but I don't think they're going to do that. Like, I think we're just going to have 4 mid-card titles. Hell, we might even add another one. The Owen Hart Cup that they give a title for might actually be a championship when it's all said and done.
Well, the Owen Hart Cup in general is going to be fascinating too, because if Ospreay can come back for All In, there's really no way for him to qualify for the main event if he can't wrestle in the Owen Hart Cup. So maybe the Owen Hart Cup will turn into a championship and won't be the guaranteed main event of All In.
Don't give him ideas.
We have been getting Ospreay not promos, but vignettes. So hopefully he does make it back soon. When they did it the first time, I was kind of like, oh, that was kind of weird and out of place. We know he's hurt. And then when they continued to do it, I was like, oh, he must be coming back soon, which is great. Thank fucking God.
I do miss Ospreay. I mean, Bob was talking about before we got on of who you'd pay money for it and their T-shirts and who you want to see. Will Ospreay is one of those guys.
We saw him and it didn't cost that much.
Nope. It was like $20.
I feel like that ROH show, we're going to look back in hindsight and be like, I can't believe we paid that much money to see the people we saw.
Ospreay was there. Kyle Fletcher was there. Queen Aminata
Christian was there
at the PPL Center. Yeah. No, it was great.
Hell yeah. Queen Aminata.
Oh, and when we saw, oh yeah, that's right. We saw him at the
we saw him
WrestleMania weekend. We saw
Death Before Dishonor. That's the first time we saw Kyle Fletcher, and I sat there and I'm like, this guy's a stud.
Oh, that was when Briscoe won the title, right? The Ring of Honor.
Yeah. By the way, I think Double or Nothing is coming to It's not in
coming to New
Brooklyn. It's
York.
right outside of Brooklyn. We should go.
See
Food
what
for
the
thought.
tickets look like.
Probably $20.
Oh, $20 we could do. No doubt.
Dude, the VIP seats for Full Gear only cost $300. So I can't imagine them being bad.
Damn, nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, main event. Maxwell Jacob Friedman retains the title over Brody King.
Yeah, I mean, I expected the outcome. I didn't really have a problem with that. I thought they did a pretty good job keeping Brody strong. I mean, I know he did lose clean, but I thought, hitting the finish, and I thought he looked like a contender. Hopefully, I know he cut a promo after, probably not to panic anybody for not being on Dynamite this week, but that he was going to come back. I hope that he comes back strong. I don't want, back to the mid card. I think, like we're saying, keep these guys in the mix, and finding ways to have them do important things, even if it's not the end isn't going to become the champion right away.
I think this match was done perfectly. For all the crap we give AEW, it told a story. And I liked how it ended. I liked that MJF won cleanly. I like that Brody King, it took mountains to beat him. But to what Bob just said, I mean, you can only keep so many guys in the main event scene. And I mean, if Hangman is going to fall down the card, then yeah, we can have other people step up. But I don't see Brody King as a champion. I see him as a big guy who does big guy things that can't really cut a promo. He's a great hot tag when you need somebody to beat the crap out of somebody for Bandito. But like as world champion, I don't see that at all. I like him.
We need Buddy back.
I just don't see it. Buddy back?
We need Buddy back.
Because again, we said that last week. I was hoping Buddy would come back.
Yeah.
Buddy Brodito connection would be a hell of a trios team.
Yeah, that'd be sick, honestly. That would get me into the trios.
The Bro Buddy Kings? Oh, the Bro Buddy Kings.
There you go.
Sorry.
Bro Buddy Kings. All right. Gay? All right. Let's kick it over to talk some WWE for the remaining time we have on today's episode. And I'm going to start it out where I know you guys really want me to start it out. And that's with AJ Lee, because she had another promo this week. I already know Bob hated it. Rob, I want to know your thoughts on AJ Lee this week. Much of the same, in my opinion.
Yeah, so she did have one line in there that I'm like, all right, that's the old AJ Lee, where she was talking about how she is the reason you guys can have women's wrestling. I thought that was a good line. And then she just went back to being AJ Lee again. So it was what it was. It's what I'm expecting from her at this point, except for that one line. And then she did the whole thing.
Yeah, the story just annoys me. I think I think what annoys me is the fact that they're trying to somewhat act like they're telling the story of two legends going at it, when really the story was about their husbands, and then transitioned to Maxine Dupree for a while, and now we've settled on AJ being this pest to Becky Lynch. But yeah, I mean, look, I like AJ. She seems like a nice lady. Watched her on Hot Ones. She was funny. She's a lot funnier and better spoken on that show than she is in the promo. She got some courtesy, some respect claps, I guess, from the fans on Monday night. But yeah, she's a fish out of water, in my opinion. I feel like you see Becky, and she looks significantly better on the mic than AJ does. We'll see how the match goes, but yeah, I mean, we're on the 8th month of this storyline, and I hope it doesn't make it to Mania.
I just feel like her promos are like so monotone and choppy, and they don't flow well whatsoever. Like I don't know what's going on with them. They just don't feel right.
Ram made the point last week. I think he said the line that weird is cool, and weird can be cool. sometimes weird is just weird, and AJ right now just feels weird.
Okay, fair enough. I continue to like it, so there's not a lot. There's not a lot I can agree with you guys on. I don't think that AJ is like cutting dynamite promos. That's not really what I'm saying, but I think that the dynamic between the two is working for me, and it might only be because I think Becky Lynch is nailing it, continuing to nail it, even when it seems like a lot of people have turned a different tone with Becky Lynch. I think her character is bloody brilliant, and I think she is the only person who can make this AJ Lee story interesting. I don't think if you put AJ Lee with literally anybody else on the roster, I don't think it would work in any way, shape, or form. But I think Becky is that good in what she does that it makes the story interesting with AJ. And I don't think anyone else could pull it off.
That I agree with. Becky's
I will agree
carrying the
with you with that.
promos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It might
I'll
just
agree with
be
you.
because of Becky, but I'm enjoying it. So
Yeah,
it's fine.
I didn't say I didn't enjoy the feud or anything like that because I do love Becky's character, but just AJ Lee out there with her promos is like cringy.
It's weird. It's like a mom. And you guys have said it's like a mom. She's treating us like she's our mom, and honestly, I'm kind of into that. So
there was a point on Monday where I thought maybe it would help if they got CM Punk back, and then I was like, no, I do not want CM Punk in the middle of this.
Nah. All right, guys, I got to give WWE some credit, though, because I did talk a lot about the qualifying matches last week, but they did give us one where the guy you expect to win didn't win because Javon Evans is going to be in this Elimination Chamber amongst some titans of the industry. This is a massive moment. He may be the first one eliminated, but just the fact that he is in this match is a massive deal for Javon Evans. And kudos to WWE for giving him the opportunity.
Not just Javon Evans. I mean, we've been talking about it. We just want to see new faces. I mean, you're like, we said last week, oh, these are the guys that are going in. They're not going to win. LA Knight, Randy Orton are going to be in there because LA Knight and Randy Orton are going to be in the Elimination Chamber. So I was fully expecting Gunther to win that match. And Dragon Lee hit him with a bell. And I was like, oh, shit. Like the epiphany happened. Like we're going to give Mr. Bouncy his moment. And
yeah.
He's in there because he's going to climb the cage and he's going to do something ridiculous off the top. We know why he's in there. But the fact that he's in there with these guys, yeah, that's pretty special.
It's kind of funny because when he got hit with the ring bell, my immediate thought was, holy shit, Dom's going to win this match. And then Javon Evans won. And I was like, damn, 0 for 2, Javon Evans. Awesome.
Yeah.
First off, Rob, Randy Orton's the one that should be winning the Elimination Chamber. He's not just participating in the Elimination Chamber. But no, I agree. It was cool. I did get a kick out of Dragon Lee showing up. I thought, my God, we still got to do that. I thought he was dead. But no, it was cool to see Javon win. Definitely hope they can find a spotlight move in the chamber for him that doesn't end up with an injury.
He's bouncy. Yeah. He's like a gummy bear. I don't think he has bouncy. Real bones.
I think what's going to happen is he's going to, like we've seen people climb the top rope and then monkey bars over to the middle. I think he's going to jump straight up and just grab onto the top.
Ram, do you remember when we went to the Elimination Chamber and the Lucha Dragons were in it and Kalisto went to the top? And you're like, this is why he's in here. And he jumped off. And I think like 2 minutes later, he got pinned. Like he was there for one purpose only.
That was why he was in that match. Absolutely. And, hopefully they give Javon Evans a little bit more to do. But
what if they give Javon the Kofi treatment? And like, this is his breakout.
Nah, it's too young.
Okay.
He's too young. But I think it's a fantastic moment for him, and definitely like solidifies that they like think very highly of him, that one day he could be the Jeff Hardy I believe he can be. Hopefully Jeff Hardy without the off the field issues. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Big deal on WWE's Monday Night Raw this week. Big deal. Massive thing. Everybody's talking about it. The mystery crate. I know there's some theories. Chris Jericho might be living in there. His wife kicked him out possibly, and he's living in the crate. Not so sure. I predict it could be the One Piece. We might see Monkey D. Luffy on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Not sure. Some people have a theory that this is just a promo for the video game, which would be such a WWE thing to do. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this crate? It's supposedly going to show up on SmackDown this week, and it should be opened at the Chamber.
It is a robot version of 27-year-old Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and he's ready to relive his career with the new era.
The Chamber.
Yeah, that's what it is. In fact, it's no longer the Elimination Chamber for the main event at WrestleMania because Triple H has just taken that. That's
hopefully
the god of wrestling.
I do hope that it is not an actual human being popping out of there, since we are 2 weeks away from the Elimination Chamber. But I would suspect, I mean, I know it's the answer that a lot of people have, but if Jericho is coming back in Chicago, where he cut the promo on The Rock 5 years ago or whatever, 26 years ago. Yeah. But I mean, logically, this would be the spot to bring him back.
So, we on social media, follow us. The consensus is, since the gobbledygooker came out of the egg at Survivor Series, it only makes sense around Easter time that it's Bad Bunny.
Okay. I actually did see a theory that it could be Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about all that though.
Now that you said that comment about the video game, I would like to see
Bad Bunny come back though.
Now that you said that comment about the video game, I'm already pissed off about it. So,
well, I don't know if you guys have played any sports video games recently, but they always have those like online things where you like open packs and
the loot boxes,
and right. So this crate, right, is essentially one of those, and it's going to be a promo.
Loot box.
It's going to be a giant, like like those giant checks, but it's just going to be a giant poster that has a promo code where you can download, where you can pre-order the game and get $10 off or something.
All of Triple H's skins. Use the promo code to get all of Triple H's skins.
Delicious.
That
there's not really a whole lot more. Cody Rhodes won the match and he didn't show any signs of turning heel. Jade Cargill beat Jordan Grace. Not too much there. I guess we're left with Oba Femi and what they're doing with Oba right now. This is kind of polarizing a little bit on the IWC because some people, me included, I don't give a crap what he's doing. Put Oba on my TV. But then there is also the okay. I actually have a question because this is also another polarizing topic. Is Kit Wilson still a thing? Is he still over? Do we still love Kit Wilson?
I think he's over. Yeah.
We booed Obafemi. The guy that we want to basically break in half people.
They weren't booing Obafemi. They were booing the concept of the match, I think. But was that because it was against Kit Wilson, or because come on, do something else? Like they're poking Oba with a stick, saying, "Come on, do something else."
Yeah, and do you know what the something else looks like it's gonna be? Rusev.
I got no problem with that.
I do.
I
mean, that's
Toxic
a fine
is over.
That's a fine
Toxic is
first
over,
feud.
though.
Okay. Forget about Kit Wilson for Oba Femi is the guy, right? Why are we having him with Rusev?
That's a fine first feud.
No, it's not. He's better than that.
Okay, but very well established. They're not going to just put a guy in the main event. They don't do that. They just don't do it. So Rusev's a fine first feud. It's like debuting and facing Sheamus. It's the same thing.
They'll wait.
He was better than that.
They'll put Oba in the main event when we care about him significantly less. It's kind of like Braun Breaker. Like they'll wait a year and a half until he's not the fresh new guy anymore, and then he'll win the title.
You guys stop caring about him? See, I told you he wouldn't get over. No, Oba's better than that.
I don't disagree, but you have to look at the way WWE works. They're not going to do that. So Rusev is a fine first feud.
All right. Just Rusev. I mean, Rusev's going to be on TV though, right?
I'm with you. If it's me, Oba's facing Brock Lesnar or Randy Orton or something like that at WrestleMania. But more than likely, he's got to do something in the meantime, number one. But more than likely, it's probably not going to happen.
Great. Well, hopefully Gunther faces Brock Lesnar.
He's a true, real man. I see it in his motion. All right, Bob. You did bring that you had some things from WWE you wanted to bring up. Did I mention them yet, or is there more?
I'm not feeling this Cody Drew thing. I hope that there's a swerve in the direction. I think Cody's great, but this is not a main event of WrestleMania, and I feel the same way about the women's title. The directionlessness of it towards WrestleMania. I hope it's not Charlotte, and I hope we're not getting Charlotte and Jade, and I hope we're not getting Cody and Drew for the umpteenth time. I'm not exactly feeling Jacob Fatu as much as others, but to me, we'll talk about it more in the build-up, I guess, for the preview. But I'd like to see some different people win these chamber matches or shake up the direction towards WrestleMania.
Yeah, so far everyone in the Elimination Chamber, the only one that I'd actually want to see win that I think would win would be LA Knight, but I don't think LA Knight should beat Drew McIntyre. Like, there's only one person winning this chamber. I've
said it to you guys offline.
Jacob Fatu in here somehow, and I might agree with you guys that I don't even know if Drew McIntyre is out of the Drew McIntyre spot yet. Like, we still have 2 months so he can lose his title. I'm not sure if he's losing his title or not. But if he's not, I think it's a triple threat for that title between Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. And who knows, maybe in the box is going to be The Rock. He's just been living off protein shakes and babies. And he's going to be like, you either put in my second cousin, Jacob Fatu, or you lose your job. And Adam Pearce is like, well, I'm not even ahead of SmackDown, but Jacob Fatu's in the match now.
If it was me, the 2 people that would win the Elimination Chamber would be Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton. I think Cody's is
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton's over. Randy Orton's a star. You watch him on the show, he gets one of the biggest reactions. He can still go. Randy Orton's over, and I want to watch him. I mean, when I'm watching this show, he's a star, and I would like to see him in the mix. I don't understand why he's in this mid-card role. It's like they've put him out to pasture, and the guy still goes. He's still entertaining, and I would say
Randy Orton is on TV for 3 months, and then he gets hurt.
And when he's on TV, I want to watch it.
That's because he's only on there for 3 months. Randy Orton has had the same match. Randy Orton has a B- match for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
He does. He does. There's no doubt about it. But Randy Orton to me is interesting. And I think on the
agreeing with you. I'm not saying that Randy Orton's not a good character. I love Uncle Randy. I do. But he's not WrestleMania main eventer. Not anymore. We talked about beginning of the year. We want young people. We want new faces and things like that. Like Randy Orton doesn't do it for me, boss.
Yeah. Do we have announcements on the other two qualifying matches? Who else could be in it?
I think Obafemi ends up in it somehow.
No, if Oba's in it, Oba should win.
It's Bronson Reed. It's some that's right. It's like some weird mosh of people.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it like a mystery opponent for Bronson
Reed?
I think they just said he's in a match next week, but I don't think they said with who.
I think they did, but I don't remember.
Penta?
No, Penta's already Intercontinental number one.
He won that match, but I don't know. Bronson Reed's in a match with
El Grande Americano and somebody else.
Yes, it's El Grande.
So it is a mystery.
No,
bet you
it was announced. It was announced. I just don't remember who it was. Grayson Waller? No, he's the masked man.
Yes, he is the masked man. I forget who the third one is, but it was
I don't remember.
Not. Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, and the women's championship. I mean, it's very unfortunate.
Jey Uso, by the way, is the third man.
It's very unfortunate because I said it and I'll say it again. Like Liv Morgan is the most compelling character in the women's division, but I don't see them making a program feel WrestleMania worthy between her and Stephanie Vaquer right now, despite the fact that Stephanie made her cry last week. And Jade, it makes no sense for Liv to pick Jade. It makes no sense for Liv to pick Jade. That does not fit.
After the promo, she's got to pick Stephanie. And I mean, I thought the promo was good. It was a good build. I'm just not sure. It's a weird dynamic because Liv's a heel, but she's also not a heel. Everyone loves Liv. So I'm not sure how that type of like Stephanie coming across as the baby face in the situation, if she will actually get that reaction.
I like Stephanie as a wrestler. It was nice to see her put the title on her. There was no reason why Raquel Rodriguez didn't win that match.
Yeah, that would have would have been a WrestleMania story.
If you're gonna have Liv Morgan go after that title, there's no reason Raquel Rodriguez shouldn't have won that match. None. Because like she made her cry. Why did she make her cry? I have no idea. What'd she say? Ram, what'd she say?
Well, there was a translated version on YouTube. You could have watched it.
Oh, so I got to go on YouTube to understand this stuff.
But she pretty much told her that she's never actually been through any struggle. She's gotten everything handed to her by WWE with training and this and that. And Stephanie Vaquer had to bust her ass across the world to make it to where she is now. And she should be ashamed of herself for hiding behind the Judgment Day. That is essentially what she said.
But here's the thing. Liv Morgan did have to bust her ass. Liv Morgan was a nobody. Liv Morgan was a cheerleader on NXT. So
don't disagree.
If that is what she's saying.
I think they both worked very hard in two different ways.
So, but if that's what she's saying, then people like us call bullshit.
No, I don't. I don't. Because the difference is like, this is the equivalent of me working my ass off and someone at a private school working their ass off. It's very different.
Maybe.
No, it's very different.
Okay.
Because they get different attention, different people helping them along the way. Or what Stephanie is saying is, I did it by myself. I had to make a name for myself. Like Liv Morgan got picked up working at Hooters, for Christ's sake. And just kind of given a private school education, essentially. Whereas Stephanie started out in the streets and had to work her way up through the public school system, which we know is not very good.
In Colombia?
I think there's been
Chile.
I think there's been a little bit of a failure on the Stephanie front. I mean, she was on and off the show months leading up to this.
But that's the thing too. She had a broken ankle.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I don't know. I said the same thing about the qualifying matches. I feel like sometimes we get to a point and then we want to go 0 to 60 when I feel like you have had months. She's been the champion since what? July, August. She won it at that Saturday night's main event. Like, we've had 6 months here that you could have been telling this story so that when she cuts that promo, it's more meaningful. Instead, we're trying to tell that story 2 months before before the potential match.
I honestly don't even think that the promo itself, the substance of the promo, I don't really even think was what was trying to come across here. I think it was just trying to come across as we were going to have a match and now you've made it personal and this is why I'm mad at you now, which is, I guess that's the start of a story. We still have 2 months. They can figure it out.
But doesn't that make Liv the babyface?
Why? Well, I don't understand.
I don't know. You made her cry.
Well, I think the point is that Liv made it personal, and then Stephanie just told her everything that she was feeling at the time. It's just women getting their feelings out, which we know can be a very vicious thing.
True. I don't know. It's not doing it for me, boss.
No, not yet. And will it? I don't know. I'm with you, though. I thought Raquel should have won the title and Liv should have picked her, and that would have made a good story for WrestleMania.
That's a story as old as time.
Fortunately, it didn't happen. Okay. So anything further from you guys?
I just like to point out that I think this is the first time ever we talked more about AEW than we did WWE.
Yeah, it's actually closer than you might think, but it was more time for AEW. Yeah. That's
why we should wrap this up. Milestones.
I'm just going to filibuster this so that we can go out.
The last time we did this, Ram accidentally wasn't recording the entire time. So it has
I was about to say we just did this, but no, that's right.
That is very true. I forgot to hit record. Wouldn't that be funny? The funny thing is that I almost hit end record a long time ago while we were doing this podcast, and I was like, oh, thank God I had another button to press. Anyway, we'll be back next week. We're going to have Elimination Chamber predictions because that is next weekend. That's correct. I did the math in my head. We'll check in on where AEW is going with these stories. They just stopped and restarted. And until then, enjoy wrestling.
We are marks. Bob brought